Hello everybody, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be playing Batman Arkham Asylum without taking damage. Now, I want to go ahead and make something clear. I'm not playing the story mode, okay? If you want to watch somebody play the story mode, go watch this guy named Vigil. He's very good at putting these kind of videos together, and this is only my hollow shell of what this man can do, okay? So instead, we're going to be playing the Batman challenges because this is my first step really into that kind of world, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so starting off with intensive treatment, the main thing that I learned while doing this one is that, at least for the first little section, you really got to keep an eye out for the counter warnings. If you don't and you get caught up in animation, you're kind of boned, okay? There's no really getting out of that. Outside of that, I probably should have used the bat claw just a little more often. Wasn't really necessary in the first section of the challenge, but it would have just made things so much quicker, and I would have been able to move on to the other sections that were much harder. Okay, so now for the later half of the intensive treatment sections, it really just comes down to you utilizing what you have and really watching out for those counter warnings. That was the mistake that I made. I wasn't paying enough attention to realize what was happening. You can see here where I was in the middle of an animation and another inmate tried to come up to me and smack me upside the head with a pipe. Okay? It gave me the counter warning. I just chose not to listen to it because I was, again, in the middle of an animation. So you really just got to watch out, you know, for your surroundings and make sure that you're not preoccupied with somebody. All right, so upon my return to the last bit of the challenge, after restarting said challenge, you can see where my whole play style changed. Originally, I was playing more of a defensive kind of style. I was kind of waiting for those little pop-ups to come up, those counter warnings. But this time I figured I would take more of an offensive approach, because my line of thinking was that if I just went ahead and beat the guys, they wouldn't be an issue. And for this segment of the challenge, that actually seemed to work. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It sounds stupid on paper, but it really did seem to work because I won without taking damage, of course. Alright, so next up we have the Silent Night challenge, and instead of it being more of a brawl kind of challenge, this is a predator challenge. The first thing I did here was try to get a good grip of my surroundings. I peeked that corner and then immediately went up to a gargoyle. That was just kind of like my main thing to do. This guy walked over, so, you know, inverted takedown, pretty simple. I was really just trying to look for outliers, people who were by themselves and didn't have a group. So yeah, I'm really just, you know, swinging through the gargoyles, nothing crazy. And I found this guy, right? And I figured this would be like a fun opportunity to just do something I normally wouldn't do. So I sprayed the explosive gel on that wall, went right back up to the gargoyle, and just boom. I'm setting up the same thing here because I really like the idea of it. It was really easy and simple to do, but I don't think I ever actually ended up using that. So right here, all four of the remaining enemies just kind of like grouped together, which was not good, but eventually they all spread out, and it's just a matter of finding ones that are by themselves. So here the two that were sticking together are finally starting to spread out some. I find this guy who's going down behind a wall, so I come up behind him and take him out. I originally thought this guy was underneath a gargoyle, but he wasn't. He was actually just checking on the last guy that I took out, so I figured I would just go ahead and take him out at the same location. So now that just leaves two, and that's actually really easy to take care of. Realistically, I could have just used a batarang and then ground takedown, because those are actually silent if you didn't know, but instead I saw a better opportunity to just come up behind the guy and take him out. Now, this is where I made my mistake. As you can see, I tried to barrel roll over the thing. That ruined the entire run. If I had not have barrel rolled, I would have had time to go back up to the guy and take him out. Now, my second attempt was actually really similar to the first. Right here, I just wanted to show you guys that doing a batarang ground takedown is silent. It didn't alert the other inmate at all. All right, so I came up over this wall. I saw that I could do a corner takedown, and I took the opportunity, and I won the challenge without taking damage. Alright, now moving on to the sewer bat challenges. These challenges are actually very similar to the intensive treatment challenges in the sense that it's just another brawl. The only main difference is that it introduces knife characters. What these characters are actually called, no clue. I'll put it on the screen for you though. Like I said, it's very similar to the intensive treatment challenges. You're really just watching out for those counter warnings and, you know, making sure that you're not stuck in a position you don't want to be in. For my playthrough, I learned that evading was my best friend. Whenever you introduce that knife mechanic, evading becomes a necessary component of the gameplay, because more so in these challenges than in the intensive treatment challenges, you really do not want to get caught up in the middle of an offensive animation, because if you are, that gives the knife guy the perfect opportunity to run up on you and give you a little shank. Alright, now for the start of round 4, I made just a tiny bit of an oopsie daisy whenever I put all of my attention on the knife guy instead of everybody else. So this guy with the pole came up behind me and smacked me upside the head. Okay, we got a pipe and a knife. Okay, well, God. All right, this is it's okay. We can I knew this would happen. Okay, so upon my retrial of challenge number 4, you can tell by my gameplay that I was just extremely scared. I was definitely not playing offensively. I was playing very defensively. And I really started to spam those evades. Around this time in the challenges is also when inmates start throwing things at you. Now, thankfully, they have the aim of a stormtrooper and kept missing me, but it's still very scary to watch and play at the same time. And with that, I bring to you the Record Breaker Challenge. So just like all the other predatory challenges that I played through, I just immediately went up to a gargoyle. That's kind of like my default thing. And I immediately started looking for outliers, people who are by themselves. Now, the thing with this predatory challenge is that it introduces Joker callers, which means that anytime I knock out any of the inmates, all of the other inmates follow that Joker caller. It goes off and it gives away my location, so I immediately have to move away. So I see that this guy's by himself. I hit him with a batarang and I get a ground takedown, which again is silent. They did not alert any other inmates. It's around this time that the inmates figure out that I took out one of their buddies, so they all start forming a circle around the inmate that I took out. I see that this guy is again by himself, so I hit him with a batarang and then I get a ground takedown. The inmates have found the other inmate that I took out and are now calling everybody over to that location, except this guy right here is just not listening. He's doing his own thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come. That now leaves me with 2 inmates that I need to take care of, and just like the last time, it's easy as long as you don't screw up. I see that this guy is behind a lot more walls than the other ones, so I see him as being an easier target. I hit him with a batarang and then I get a ground takedown. That now leaves me with 1 inmate left, but I learned my lesson from my last playthrough of a predatory challenge and I just played it safe, got an inverted takedown. And with that, we begin the shock and awe challenges. This is another brawl challenge set, and it's again very similar to the first 2, except only this time it introduces the electrical stick thingies. Again, do I know what those are called? No, I don't, but I'll put it on the screen for you. Like I said, it's very similar to the first 2. One thing I started doing a lot more in this run is utilize my bat claw. What it allows you to do is it allows you to attach the claw to an inmate and pull them closer to you, allowing you to get a takedown. And with round 2 of the shock and awe challenges, we get our first glimpse at the shocky people. Again, don't know what they're called. They're really simple. In fact, I think they're just a tad bit easier to fight against compared to the knife guys. Really, all you have to do is evade over top of them and hit them from behind. And then after that, they're incapacitated. You don't have to worry about them. I really don't want this video to be over 10 minutes because I know YouTube attention span is just slowly dropping and I don't really want this to be a video essay. I'm going to split this video up into 2, maybe 3 parts. It's probably just going to be 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button. Alright guys, adios.
Popping 8 pills on my coat, I'm out the road, feel like I'm Batman.